Let us now look at the opposite direction. This time, I will need to block my head like this. I push forwards, and when I am empty, I inhale and move back a bit. As you have seen, in order to carry out this movement and move back, I tend to curve the spine a lot and feel arms and shoulders limiting me. For purely mechanical reasons, movement of the head cannot be completely free in this position. For this reason, I can help myself with a bandage or find a position that frees up movement, reducing postural limitations. Please, though, think of safety first. This part of the body is very fragile, and if you or the people you are working with suffer from a hernia or similar issues, and you are not a physician, a physiotherapist, or professional in this area, please ask an expert for their help. Even if the person is young, healthy, and has no issues, do ask them to approach these movements gradually and push themselves only a little at a time to gain some activation and observe each little movement. You can run some trials with increasing complexity. As discussed, it can be useful to work in both directions, aside from dominance. There are people that, for different reasons, such as the posture and the contraction of the diaphragm, have a so-called tortoise head that drops forward a little. It is critical to work on this also internally, on the diaphragm, using the crossed cycles breathing technique, for example. Following our example, we can work in both directions on head muscles that favor this dysfunctional posture, to improve it, but also to gain psychosomatic benefits. If you think about it, there is a strong connection between having a slightly dropping head and a rather subdued mood. We shouldn't take an interpretative approach, but if we have this innate type of perception, there is probably some truth to it. Whether it is at the biofeedback or social relationship level, a dropping head leads us to be penalized. It is therefore interesting to work on visual perception of the self before and after carrying out the exercise. We can do this by showing a side profile photo of the subject to help them perceive objectively how the position of their head can be evaluated by an external observer physically, emotionally, or socially. After carrying out these psychosomatic stretching exercises, we can take the photo again and evaluate what has changed. We should take note of postural and expressive features, such as a slightly less taut face or wider open eyes, for example. Afterwards, we could even add an interoceptive evaluation, asking how the person feels, now that they have a different posture and some deactivated muscles that are a bit looser. We can also ask them to imagine how maintaining this new postural setup makes them feel in terms of a sense of security, faith in the self, and interpersonal dynamics.